Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the 2019 Redeye Hellcat. Always, we will quickly do a walk around on the vehicle, go over all of the features on it, and then if you are stopping for the first time, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. Starting under the hood here of the Redeye is the supercharged 6.2 liter V8. And that's going to be good for 797 horsepower on pump gas and 707 pound-feet of torque. That's all through an 8-speed automatic transmission, which is the sole transmission for this particular vehicle. You're going to be 13 miles per gallon around town, 22 on the highway, and then you're going to be 16 combined. Finishing things up front, we have the dual snorkel hood, which is one of the key characteristics of the Redeye Hellcat. You still get the halos up front just like all of the other Challengers. A little bit more aggressive on the front fascia just to let a little bit more airflow in for that big 6.2 liter supercharged V8. Coming around to the side, this is a wide body packaged one, so you are going to see the wider fender flares, and then you do get the wider tires. I'll pop around the back so you can see those. And then this particular one is destroyer gray on the outside, and the brake calipers are paint to match on it. And then you can see on the logo right there, little Redeye in the Hellcat emblem. And then back here you can see how wide these tires are. They are 305s, just like on the regular wide body Hellcat. Hopping around back, this is the key fob for the new Redeye. You can see that you have the remote start function, which we'll do first. It'll lock it and then it will start it up. You hear the nice beefy exhaust note. Shut that right off. And then obviously if we pop this twice, just like all the other Challengers, you'll have a ton of trunk space back here, so it's more than adequate to store things. And then more importantly, you can see the new rear spoiler on it, so it kind of pops out a little bit compared to the previous generation, so it's a more unique look overall. Hopping around front, you get your keyless entry, so one touch to lock it, and then you just put your hand on the back of the door handle and that will unlock it right there. And then you can see the nice leather trim right there with your window controls on the side, your mirror controls right over there. Power adjustments on the seat. This is still manual right here. The leather actually feels really nice on this Redeye. You can see the stitching through it, and then you get SRT with a little Hellcat logo on it. Hopping around here, we have all of our switches for the light controls. Right there you have your gas switch, your pedals down below. So if we pop inside right here, we can see all of the controls right here for the steering wheel. You have your voice command controls. Over here is your cruise control right there. And then this does come with the Harman Kardon sound system as well. You have your paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel to shift the gears yourself. Start up the Redeye, you just have to put your foot on the brake and push the push button. The car will start right up. The gauges will do a little bit of a sweep as well. You'll see the speedo goes all the way up to 220 miles an hour. Hopping over here, this is the center touchscreen. It's the new system they released back in 2017, so it's really quick response time. You do get dual zone climate in the Redeye, as well as heated and ventilated seats, which I'm going to turn those off because it is a little bit too warm for that right now for me. But everything's drag and drop. This is basically like an iPad. You can see my other videos with FCA's other products, so you can kind of see how this touchscreen functions a little bit more. You do get navigation. But we are going to pop into the performance pages on this. So first we can go into the SRT mode. So this will show you every bit of information on the car. You can switch between the different modes right there, and you can see how it changes everything. Transmission, if the paddle shifters are on or off, the traction, the suspension, steering, all of that. Another cool thing about this, obviously you can put it into valet mode, eco mode. I don't know why you'd ever use that option if you had a Redeye, but they do come with launch control. And so all that you have to do is you set the RPMs on the launch control, activate launch control. You put your foot on the brake, put your foot on the gas, and then you release, and it's supposed to launch, but since this has so much power, it's probably just going to do a massive burnout. You can set a shift light, obviously your race cooldown, so if you ever take it on a track or anything like that. And then it does have line lock function to make it so that burnouts are a lot easier to do. Popping down below, you have your analog controls for the radio, and then you have your SRT mode. So basically you press that and then it'll pop those pages up right there. Your launch control button, your climate control buttons over there. I'm going to turn that off. And then you do have your shifter right here for the 8-speed automatic transmission, and then you can put it into the manual mode if you want to shift the gears manually. And then obviously if we pop this into reverse, we can see the backup camera that pops up with the trajectory lines right there. And then we can pop over to the center console area where you get more storage space, tons of USBs to charge everything. Overall, like I said earlier, I really like these seats in the Redeye. They have a really nice look to them. Overall, the leather looks and feels really nice. You do get a glove box. This one was not optioned out with the sunroof, but you can see your little microphones for the Bluetooth up there. It's kind of hard to see the black portion right here. And then it's a little bit hard to see just because of the light in here, but there are garage door openers there. You have 3 different, so you can set this for 3 different garages. But let's just get into a little bit of a short drive portion just to see how the Redeye drives. Setting off here in the 2019 Redeye, and this is going to be a really quick drive. We aren't taking it on the interstate or anything like that, sadly, and it's just because we don't want to put miles on this car. It is a little bit rainy today outside, so we are not going to be going crazy with the acceleration or anything like that either, sadly, and that's just because 797 horsepower and rain do not go well together, obviously, so we are going to be relaxed on that aspect of things too. But I'm just in the normal drive setting right now, and it's actually really smooth down the roads. And so this is a car that you could drive every single day. It's just super, super comfortable so far. But we've got it over into the sport mode right now, and it's just going to hold the gears at a little bit higher RPMs. And I am noticing that it is riding a little bit rougher, but nothing crazy or anything like that. It's crazy. You can just hear the exhaust out of the back of the Redeye, and it's crazy how loud it is. Even just idling, it's just making this deep chugging sound. And then now that I'm getting up a little bit more, you can also hear the supercharger whine. It's definitely a really cool sound. I'm gonna get a tiny bit of an acceleration here, nothing crazy at all. Yeah, and you hear so much supercharger whine with that, and it's just crazy. Like, this car has so much power. It's more power than anyone really needs, and if you kind of missed out on the Demon, this is the car to go for, because the Demon on pump gas actually only has 808 horsepower. This has 797, so you can't really perceive the difference in power between the two. And so this is definitely a super solid option to go for on that side of things, because you basically have the same amount of power as a Demon, because the amount of times that you're going to be using race fuel is just not a lot. And there we have it, everyone, the 2019 Redeye Hellcat. Thank you everyone so much for watching. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe, comment down below what you thought, and I will see all of you in that next video.